everyone. I hope you had a wonderful summer. I know it is a busy and exciting time for many fourth-year medical students who are about to hit submit on their ERAS application. For those of you who are more junior in their studies and undecided about radiology or still exploring radiology, I have an exciting announcement for you. On Saturday, September 17th, 2022, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., for the first time ever, the UC Davis Department of Radiology is hosting the very first annual Pacific Coast Radiology Exposition. I was extremely honored and humbled that I was invited to be a guest speaker at one of the case sessions. Last month, I had the opportunity to sit down with the founder and chair, rising Dr. Lamia Choudhury, who was a visiting medical student and rotated through the Stanford Body Imaging Radiology Department. I'm thrilled to make this announcement on my podcast, Let's Read Out, and I'm even more overjoyed that rising Dr. Lamia Choudhury sat down with me last month to talk about her vision for the program and why she created it. Welcome to the show, Lamia.
Hi, Lindsay. Thanks so much for having me here today to talk about the Pacific Coast Radiology Exposition. My name is Lamia. I'm a fourth-year med student from UC Davis, and together with our Department of Radiology, we're planning an exposition that's targeted for medical students to give them an exposure to what diagnostic and interventional radiology is like, so they can potentially think of them as future career choices.
Lamia, thanks so much for coming on the show. I am thrilled to hear more about this program, but first I wanted to ask you, why radiology? How did you first get interested in the specialty?
So I wanted to do radiology prior to even starting medical school. My grandfather was a radiologist in Bangladesh, so that's kind of why I knew about it to begin with. And so when I started medical school, it was just something that I had in the back of my head, because I knew it was, he had a very fulfilling, long profession, and he was very happy with his career choice. So that's why it was always in the back of my mind. And going through medical school, I was comparing all other specialties that I would rotate through to radiology. And I always was leaning more towards radiology. So that's how I decided on it.
What a special connection that you have with your grandpa, and what an inspiration for you. So I want to talk a little bit about why the exposition. What was your inspiration for the event?
I noticed a trend that a lot of residents went to medical schools in the Midwest or the East Coast, but not so much in the West Coast. So I kind of wanted to explore that a little more, and turns out a lot of radiology conferences and events take place in those areas and not so much on the West Coast. And I had personally attended one of these expositions. It was the Chicagoland Radiology Exposition. And since COVID, they had started doing a virtual remote event over Zoom, and I had attended it one of the years, and I noticed they also had a case study for that event, which showed that many radiology residents who had attended the expo as medical students. So that kind of suggested that the event had not only given them an increased understanding of the field of radiology, but may have also influenced their decision to pursue radiology as a career. So I was quite inspired by that to introduce medical students on the West Coast to radiology.
What is your vision for the event, and what do you hope students will take away at the end of the day?
I think my goal with this event is for medical students across the West Coast to consider radiology or learn more about radiology, because I think a lot of schools in a lot of schools you don't get that exposure earlier on, definitely not in your first and second years, and even during clinical rotation years. Some schools offer it as selectives. It's not always a core rotation. So unless you already knew about it and you kind of sought out that experience, you're probably not going to experience it. So this would likely give them an opportunity to think about it and maybe seek out opportunities to experience it firsthand within medical school.
Those are some great goals, Lamia. How much does this conference cost? Is there a registration fee?
It's free for medical students and pretty much everyone. The only thing is when you register, you have to register with your .edu email address so we can make sure to send you the Zoom link. And we're doing this in order to prevent any Zoom bombers from joining the meeting, since we'll be advertising on social media and a lot of different platforms that are easily accessible.
Lamia, thank you so much for the invitation to speak on Saturday. I hope other students will join in, especially given it's zero cost, it's on Zoom, and it's very accessible. Thank you so much for all of your efforts and your time and your dedication to helping advance this specialty and recruit the best of the best into this field. I am honored to be a speaker, and thank you so much for letting me use Let's Read Out to make this announcement and further publicize the event.
Thank you so much, Lindsay, for having me and for giving me the opportunity to publicize this event. I hope people will get to know about it and join our event to learn more about radiology. And as far as the details are concerned, the event is scheduled for September 17th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. It'll be almost exclusively over Zoom. There are a few in-person modules for people who might be local, and it might be convenient for them to come to Davis. But otherwise, it's pretty much predominantly virtual, and the registration link, the website, and our promo video links will all be available in the episode notes.
Lamia, I can't wait to see the response to this event and how it turns out. Congratulations on all of your hard work, and I'm really looking forward to Saturday.
Thanks again, Lindsay, for having me, and I hope people will get excited for this event and will join us on September 17th.